Aries, welcome to your Intimate Tarot reading. For those of you who are new to the channel and you'd like to know why I read Intimate Tarot, specifically sexual energy, it will be outlined for you in the description box. Heads up, if you're that person who is sensitive around the topics of intimate energies, sexual energies, or any descriptions thereof, feel free to pass this one up. It's not for you. Don't worry about it, okay? I don't want you to watch anything that comes into conflict with who you are, what you believe, because you will take nothing from it. And what's the point of that? All tarot, like all YouTube, is at will, free will. You don't have to watch, especially if you know it's going to provoke certain negativities in you. There's just no point, okay? Myself, personally, I understand sexual energy, like all energy, is real and valid, and we all experience it in some way. And I operate from the philosophy of the more you know. The more you know about yourself, the more you understand how you interact with everything else and how it interacts with you too. That's why we're here. Again, for all questions, check out that description box, yeah? You will notice, of course, the new mic. The fire signs are the first group of folks who get the new mic. Yay! Love it. Thank you all so much for your outstanding holiday donations. It allowed me to make some really awesome upgrades. And it took forever, honey. It took forever. See, it's not just about the money thing. It has to be the right equipment for my pre-existing equipment. Okay, that's how that works. So I don't work out of a studio. So all equipment I have has to be compatible with my recording device. And with your donations, I finally got one I was able to that connects with my stuff. So thank you all so much who donated over the holidays. I appreciate you all so much. Speaking of which, please tune in to the January mid-month. I'm going to talk about overall channel upgrades, ones that I'm looking forward to and I have been tinkering with for the past couple of months. Yay! So I'll make that announcement, like I said, at the January mid-month. We're going to start by pulling you an oracle overview. Show me that Aries sexual energy, please. Show me that Aries sexual energy. Show me that... Okay. Okay. Couple thoughts here. We're not going to accept all of these today. Harmony, power, self-confidence. Wow. Really trying to harmonize your own sexual power against yourself, getting more comfortable with it. Now that's interesting for Aries. Okay. Aries may not be your dominant sign. We're talking the big three, sun, moon, rising. And for some of you, Venus. But yeah, harmonizing your sexual power as it relates to your sense of self-confidence, coming to terms with it. We're learning about our sexual confidence and how it relates to us as individuals. That's quite a bit. That is quite a bit to be getting on with. Well, also the numbers 28, 36, and 11 might be important to some of you. But when you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you think about your sexual energies and your sexual experiences, how does that relate back to you? Are you in harmony with your own sexual energy and what it means to you, how you experience it? Okay. Do you feel your own power, your own sexual power? Again, how do you relate to it? Sexual power and understanding it, having the confidence in it, to have the confidence, your own sense of physical strength, your own sexual strength. What does that look like? What does that feel like? How do you experience it in relationships? Have you always been able to harmonize with it in other partners? And then first of all, yourself. Everything begins with the self. Are you harmonizing your sexual energy with you? Okay? There's a lot going on in here today. Okay, that's a lot, and it's beautiful, and I'm glad that you are, it looks like you're the Aries that's in the position of really coming to terms with your own sense of sexual, not just, I don't want to say identity, that's not correct, your own sense of sexual strength as it relates to you and how you experience it with other people. You're becoming more comfortable with it, kind of experiencing your sexual energy through someone else's eyes, and hopefully getting confidence in that. Because it does look like there is someone here that kind of provokes that sense of, this is how they see me, this is how they experience me. Is this true? Is that true for me? Of course it's true for you. Of course it's true for you. But there's something about that it gets you all worked up in all the right ways, doesn't it? I don't know, there's something about that drives your sexual confidence up, and it harmonizes with you better when you're connected to someone who obviously can appreciate it in the correct ways, that really provokes it, pulls it from you. Again, in all the right ways. Okay, I like this. It's interesting. It's interesting. Let's take a look at this. Show me that Aries sexual energy. Show me that Aries sexual energy. Show me that Aries sexual energy. Show me that Aries sexual energy, please. Let's do one more. Show me that Aries sexual energy, please. What's going on? Six of Swords. Oh, yes. Very interesting. Four of Swords. Interesting. I'll get back to that. Two of Wands, the Devil. Well, yeah, don't necessarily want to be attached to that either. Just looking at it made me a little bit uncomfortable. Hold on. Cheers. Okay. So the devil, let me make this clear, sexual energy isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just depends to the extent he is fed, how insightful somebody is or not. Sexual energy and the devil can be very, very intense, but unrequited. Okay, so somebody gets a little obsessive about it, and then there's other people who have a very poor output or look on sexual energy, and they take it to a bad place and assume it's bad for everyone else too. I never know. Okay, but that's a hell of a way to open. You open with the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords. Your sexual energy is gently, mentally, first, sword is mental, and I'm guessing spiritually is detaching from a scenario where the sexual energy no longer feels welcome or warm. You have to remember that sword is cold, but yours is a gentle detaching, okay? That's peaceful, that's calm, and you're trying to learn. And then over here is the Two of Wands and the Devil. Yeah. We'll see. We're going to put a big old we'll see on that one. We're going to need to clarify. I don't want to make any assumptions yet. Okay, hopefully it's not sexual obsession. Nobody wants that. And if you think you do, you don't. Trust me, you don't. You don't want that, okay? Six of Cups, Four of Cups. There's your heart. There's your heart and your sex. Your positive heart and your positive sex. One of the reasons why I read Intimate Tarot so I can show people, showcase, point in fact, how they are often integrated or related, not necessarily separated. Okay. You're showing me your heart pulls very gently but pronounced, in a very pronounced way, towards a very specific connection. It's disappointed. It is. It's sad. But you would still love to love it or to be loved by it. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Obstacles, Nine of Cups. You loving yourself. Nine of Cups is a direct reflection of self-confidence and loving yourself the correct way. Being in harmony with yourself. Wish fulfillment. So let me tell you what Nine of Cups is. I know what you're used to saying. Oh, you're going to get whatever you want. That's not how the Nine of Cups works. In order to have wish fulfillment, you have to know that you love yourself enough in order to make it happen. Full stop. You don't just pull the Nine of Cups out of nowhere and be like, oh, you're going to get whatever you want. That's not how life works. Ever. Nine of Cups is saying, I love me enough, and I know that I love me enough to honor and respect what I feel in order to make it happen. Different mindset. Different heart set, different mentality, different spiritual concept altogether. Okay, moving forward, Ace of Cups. I suspect so. You opened up with the transition right away. Sexual transition first, mental, spiritual. I'm just going to congratulate you right now. It's not done. You're still in it. In some way. You haven't completely exited this. It starts with a mental resignation first that you're still healing yourself towards. There's an understanding here, and the more you understand yourself and your own sense of sexual power and how you specifically harmonize with it and react to it, is lending stronger and stronger to itself and about what it is you're supposed to do. And that's all I want for people. I want you to get to where you need to be. I want you to do what's right for you. And that's what you're coming to terms with. Nine of Cups, I grant you, we need to take a look at that. All right, let's get over here. Let's jump on over here. All right, Six of Swords, Four of Swords. There is, like I said already, the separation of your sex from a situation. And that you are healing yourself to this. Six of Swords, Four of Swords. Six of Swords, Four of Swords. Six of Swords, Four of Swords. Some of that. Ace of Swords, your particular truth, judgment, Ace of Cups. You have begun the journey towards new love. A little more every day you become aware of it. But you need to fully disengage from whatever that surrounds you. Like I said, mentally and spiritually, you've already taken huge strides in that direction. So congratulations to you. I don't know if it's physically still in your life. I just know that you are headed towards new love, which means your sex is in there too. So new love and new sex. You're showing me remarkable amounts of water. So you might be heavily water oriented. Or you have some very prominent water in your chart. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, respectively. But yeah, Ace of Swords, Judgment. It's a strong truth in you that the day you started making changes to move on, so you did. And you've continued to do so. Congratulations. This was a conscious decision. Ace of Swords plus Judgment equals conscious decision to make what looks like a very strong decision, and a spiritual one too. Those were already there. The mental and spiritual, I told you that right away. I didn't necessarily know what direction you were headed in, but it indicates not once but twice. Ace of Cups. You want a healthy, fresh heart. And, well, it stands to reason. Healthy, fresh sex. But you're saying the cup comes first, Christina. That's the priority for me. Okay? Fresh love, real love. One that stands up in my heart, and I don't question it. It's the fullness of it. I want to feel the fullness of it. The weight of new love. Okay? You've made that conscious decision to leave something behind, or that you have begun the process to leave it behind. That's a very strong decision. It looks like it's a fresh one. It looks fresh. But it's based on a lot of contemplation and a lot of spiritual divination, spiritual understanding, understanding your mind, understanding your spirit. It's strong. I need to jump over here and see this. Let's see that Two of Wands and the Devil, please. Let's see that. Two of Wands and the Devil, Two of Wands and the Devil, Two of Wands and the Devil. Could be dependency in some weird way. Hold on. Let's say that Two of Wands and the Devil, Two of Wands and the Devil. One more. Two of Wands and the Devil, please. Look at that. Look at all that water. 6, 4, Knight, 9, Ace. Yeah. As my ancestors would say. Yeah. Okay, Page of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Page of Wands. This person has a very conflicted point of view with passion. It does not do well. It's poorly thought of, therefore poorly invested in. I wonder how the P's sound on this, the plosives. I understand it's one of the, well, I've heard it for myself. I cross-referenced this multiple times against 3 different devices because I'm thorough. I'm very thorough. We don't do half-assed around here. And they said it's one of the best devices for plosives with a P. But you know what, though? When I listen to ASMR, I like the plosives, to be honest with you. I like it. Anyway, I understand I'm using a lot of plosives right now. Yeah, what are you going to do? If somebody has a poor disposition on sex and their sexual energy, you get what you get. And you are who you are. The more you don't understand your sexual energy, what it means, how it does, and how it kind of plays into your life, well, you get what you get. Like I said, ignorance isn't an excuse. And that's why I read sexual energy. If you're not aware of your love energy, your love language, ignorance is an excuse. If you're not aware of your spiritual energy, guess what? Ignorance is an excuse. If you're a live, functioning human being and you're making decisions that can harm yourself or others, you have no excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. Your sexual energy is no different. So if this person has such a poor opinion of sex, it's not your problem. And it's not your job to educate them or make them feel better about it. That is something that, as again, a functioning human being should be aware of themselves. And this is why I tell people all the time, 2 halves do not make a whole. Not in the human existence, no. You should already be a whole person before you try to connect to someone else. And this person's sexual energy, they are grossly uncomfortable with it. They think they know what it's about, but they don't. They have a King of Wands in there. Fire energy doesn't have to be. We also have Capricorn there. That's an unusual mix of, I have sexual energy, but I'm not comfortable with it. It feels heavily suppressed, like it's not welcome or wanted. either by you or from within themselves, but everything begins with themselves. Everything begins with the self. So if this person is uncomfortable with their own sexual energy, naturally it's going to translate into anyone they connect with. I am sorry that they feel that way. And again, it's not your particular course in this life to educate other people of things they need to become aware of themselves. If this person was truth seeking and they were trying to understand their sexual energy better in relation to themselves or with you, I'd be like, okay, there's something here to work with. They don't. They have very mixed reviews or mixed opinions on sex. Again, there's a certain level of arrogance here of, I know what it's about and it doesn't mean a damn thing. Wrong. This is where I see things screw up all the time with people. Sex isn't important. I'm just going to sweep it under the rug. And you wonder why people get what they get. Or relations to, you can't say that, mean it, and then expect someone else to play along like it's no big deal. Oh, I know what sex is about. Do you? Did you ask me? Did you ask me what I thought sex was about? Because, hey, I'm supposed to be in a relationship with you, so maybe my opinion counts too. You take sex to a bad place, you get what you get. They're saying they know what it's all about and they're in control of it and that you have no excuse either, and this is what you get. So it's up to you if you want to play along with that person's rules. I got news for you, baby. This Aries I'm looking at, you don't. Done. They're obsessed with it in the weirdest way. They're so uncomfortable with it. They think about sex constantly, and then they do nothing with it. I mean, that person's going to have an origin story I don't want to know about. Lack of insight is so stunted, small, blunted, factual, like somebody else's point of view of facts. These are the facts. Those are your facts, which are likely based on poor opinions, based on poor experiences that you're trying to impose upon me. So, and I see them interacting with you, or they tried to. It's at a distance now, or it's going to become a distance. Don't quite know where you are on your timeline. I want you to go with your mental and spiritual essence as truth, because it is. You are correct. Whatever this is does not serve or suit. You go around in life thinking people are supposed to treat things the way they would, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, or sexually. I got news for you. That's not how companionship works. It's one thing when you two already match up and you have two people of poor opinions of sex, they get together, then that's, hey, great. You found someone like you. But don't expect other people to sit there and play along with you like, oh yeah, totally reasonable point of view. That's not fair. That's what I'm saying. Tarot's at will. Religion is at will. Playing along with somebody's ideologies that look unhealthy, that's... Get where I'm going? So yeah, no, it seems so low functioning, and that's exactly it from their point of view. Sex is low functioning, and it's not something to be indulged in. It's weird because they spend a lot of time oppressing what they naturally feel. King of Wands. But they think of sex so poorly. Pages, pages, pages. Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Two of Wands. This person really does communicate, act, and expect like this is how it's supposed to be. It's okay to have some sexual feeling, but not too much. Don't gratify in it. Don't give it too much. Don't get used to it. Don't rely on it. Don't expect it. Don't expect it from me. And don't expect me to have a good opinion of it. And don't expect me to indulge in it. No. These are all bad things. You give too much to sex and then everything's crazy. It shouldn't be like that with somebody you're supposed to have trust with. People will meet you. Okay, listen to me, and this is true for sex. People will meet you in as much as they have met themselves. Do you think that person has met themselves sexually? Did you meet yourself sexually? You're trying to. That's what your opening was. Sex isn't bad. It's what you do with it that counts, which is true for love, which is true for behaviors. The same is true for sex. Love isn't bad. Sex isn't bad. It depends on what you do with it. This person takes it to a bad place, so they get what they get. That doesn't mean it's your life choice. Understand? I don't know how strong that voice is, but I don't like it. And it's not natural. It's not healthy. Harmony, power, self-confidence. Your understanding for yourself, sex isn't like that. No shade. Good job. Sex is a form of empowerment if you're comfortable with it. I was wondering why that was so distinct. You have a good profile relief here of what not to be. Insecure. Sexually, and then confuse it with ego and confidence. I know what sex is all about. That's not healthy. And then the arrogance to sit there and act somebody's supposed to play along with you. That's not the right kind of play, honey. Not the right kind of play. I think I have a very different interpretation of devil. I mean, if there was a healthy devil and sexual energy, I mean. Hi, welcome to Sassy Scorpion Tarot. My name's Christina. I'm a little different. Okay. All right, Tutu. Let's get back on the train. Let's get back on that train. Let's keep her going. But you're look at that. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Deep spiritual awakening, deep knowledge awakening of your heart, what it's about, and that sex is in love, and that it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be a healthy expression of how you feel about yourself and how you feel about someone else. I don't know where you are in the process of moving on, but the process has indeed begun. Your aim is really straightforward. Oh, good luck to you, honey. Now, what's all this on the bottom row? It's love, love, water, water, water. Some disappointment, but I'm very curious because you're showing me very much that you love this. But do you love yourself? Good question. I don't know why I said that, but it is. All right, let's see that Six of Cups. This is a unique soul bond that you have with somebody. And the unique here is the key word. This is where we have shared memory, shared experiences, and that inexplicable bond where you don't really have the words, but you don't really need to. There's a natural energetic flow that you don't question. It feels right. Whereas, say, people at work, you have to get along with them ideally because you need to work. And you can often describe family in the same way. Six of Cups is just like, I know you. And you can both have that moment of we're both thinking about the same thing at the same time. You know, that kind of thing. The Six of Cups. Let's say that Six of Cups. Let's say that Six of Cups. You ever had that special cousin or that best friend way back in the day from, God knows, high school, middle school? That's what I'm talking about. You think about them and you smile. You don't go, ooh. Big difference there. Time might come and go between you and that soul bond, various circumstances, life dealings, you name it, but the bond inherently remains intact. Let's get that Six of Cups, please. You say your heart points to this. And therefore, so does your sex. But what I like about all this is that your emotional dedication to this, dedication, direction, both, is very much here. It's beautiful. Seven of Cups. Page of Cups. Oh, we tried to hold. Oh, no, honey. It's honest, though, but thank you. I understand. So this is somebody we have some feelings for in that way, the romantic way, with the Seven of Cups, but it was options that we didn't take too seriously. We wanted to. Page of Cups, little guy. We wanted to open up towards it in some way, but we didn't know how. Four of Pentacles, so we kind of cut the energetic influence back by several degrees. So the connection, like I said, was naturally felt between both people. How you actually execute it as a single person, individually, towards it. Seven of Cups, Page of Cups, Four of Pentacles. I'm trying to open up towards this. I want to share some feeling with it, but not too much. Four of Pentacles. So you really kind of stayed or refrained from fully emotionally developing this. Lack of emotional development. There was something there, but we didn't explore it too much because we only gave it so much. Four of Pentacles. We didn't let it go, but we didn't give it all of our emotional influence or 3D influence. This is very minimized. Not an accusation. And the Six of Cups suggests someone of the past, so you know this person. Well, if you were in something like that, that was what you might call sexually toxic. Again, just having a poor opinion and forcing someone else to experience your opinion because they insist it's fact when it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's toxic. You stick around somebody long enough who really has a toxic opinion of sex and intimacy, you're going to pick up some of their bad habits, bad thinking, go along with it for a while until you realize with some measure that that's just not who you are at all. So, I mean, this is a very strong sense of self-awareness and what you've learned. I mean, there's a reason you're leaving this behind. So my point is, honey, I'm sorry, getting back to the bottom line, this is someone else. This is not this water line down here. I guess for lack of a term, this water line is not this devil. This is someone who really speaks to your heart in a clean, pure way. And the bond seems to be pretty effortless in terms of its meaning or significance. You naturally developed feelings for it, but without allowing yourself to fully explore it, physically or emotionally, never mind sexually. All right, let's see that Four of Cups, please. Let's see that Four of Cups, show me that Four of Cups, show me that Four of Cups. So when you say new love, Ace of Cups twice. When you say new love, is it new though? Just putting it out there right now. Just putting it out there. That's all some of us can do, honey. We just put it out there and do with that what you will. All right, let's see that Four of Cups. Please, some of you already know. Ace of Swords, the Six of Cups. Yep. Okay. Okay. I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll stop. I won't though. I do get to use my job to justify my nosiness. A little bit. The Hierophant, Jeff. Queen of Pentacles. Oh, honey. Because we couldn't emotionally or sexually commit to this in the real world, it felt like an ending. We wanted to. The spiritual implication was there to flow in a particular direction, to go on board with that particular train, that water train. There's a lot of water, specifically Scorpio at this point. We also have some Taurus here. It's interesting to see those two. It's interesting to see those two. This talk about pig-headed. They both think they're non-negotiable. It's hilarious. That's why Scorpio and Taurus are opposing signs on the zodiac wheel. So you might have either one of these in your chart or both. Talk about having an internal wrestle with yourself. It's like, my way. And they're like, my way. Those two can be so pig-headed and have such strong opposing forces. Oh, but when they work together, it's magnificent. Imagine those two powerhouses coming together under a united front. It's wild. That's why they are highly compatible, but they also repel and attract simultaneously. It's amazing. But look at that. Look at that. Four of Cups. The emotional disappointment, the sexual disappointment. We couldn't satisfy this. So this connection was here, and it's of value to you. And you felt yourself in it, but you understood you couldn't commit to it. We couldn't commit to the emotional development. I already saw that, so I'm not surprised. We couldn't commit to the emotional development, never mind the sexual development. The Queen of Pentacles, but nevertheless, there was a feeling retained here of comfort in this. Part of ourselves here with that Queen of Pentacles, despite the admission that we couldn't progress this emotionally, so on and so forth. There was still a part of ourselves that was quite comfortable with it, physically, with our body. It's funny you didn't show me the crossover into sexual energy. What you showed me is that you already knew you physically could be comfortable with this person. King, Queen of Pentacles and sexual energy is I'm comfortable with my body, or I'd like to understand that I am. I always thought I was. So in this connection with this soul bond, you felt quite natural in your body. Okay, tactile, wanting to touch, taste, the senses. King, Queen of Pentacles are in sexual tarot. Your senses felt alive with this, even though it was disappointed it couldn't execute itself. Okay, makes sense? We couldn't commit to it. The emotional development, never mind the physical development, but parts of you, your physical form, recognized this soul bond in some ways being comfortable. In other words, you knew you could be comfortable with them if you were able to move it in that direction. Okay? Speaking of direction, let's see that Knight of Cups, please. Let's see that Knight of Cups. Show me that Knight of Cups. Show me that Knight of Cups. Let's see that Knight of Cups, please. Nights in White Satin. That's a great song. That's a that's a great song. Yeah, I mean, we obviously, you know, I'm looking at the night, so I can't say I'm surprised. Nights in White Satin. So here we have colors in the white, and the background is the warmth of the blue, or the blue night, and it's, you know, nights. I mean, it makes sense. I did. That was very specific. That was very specific. Nights. That's a great song though. Moody Blues. Ah, that's a great one. Let's get that Knight of Cups, please. That's for some of you, not all of you. When it just, oh. I have sometimes this mental visual of somebody upstairs, and by upstairs I mean spirit, kicking the jukebox that's in my head, and it cranks out a song. And somebody somewhere upstairs just went and kicked my jukebox. It's like, oh, there's a song. I don't know. That's how they talk to me, is through music. Okay. If you believe in them, I'm not asking you to believe what I believe. It's just my system that I've developed based on self-experience, and I know it works for me. We all have a way of communicating with our spiritual selves, our higher selves, through time, patience, practice, and a willingness to accept that you're not crazy. Okay? That's any relationship you say have with a pet. You don't quite know how they're talking to you, but you have an idea. And that took time to develop with your animal. Same is true with your spirit guides. Anyway, that's my process. 3 of Swords, the World, the 7 of Swords. There's a lot of pain associated with this, particularly the ending. There is pain associated with this ending. Again, not the top line. You're having moved on. Very strong spiritual decision. I completely agree with it. I see what your aim is the Ace of Cups. You're showing me regret like a sigh attached to someone else. Someone of the past. Someone that you still think about a great deal. Emotionally. Physically, you don't seem to be connected with them. You're saying it's like the day the kind of soft words with the Knight of Cups cut off was the day it hurt you really bad. We didn't want the ending with this, but we didn't know how to admit it. We didn't have the words for it. I don't want this to end, but I don't know how I can say that. Especially if you were in at the time as you last understood it, because mind you, this is a fresh decision. Remember that? If at the time you were still in something and you might have started the development of something emotionally, it didn't cross over into the sexual arena. I think I made that clear. You know you could. Physically, you knew you would have been comfortable with them in that way. But that was the whole point of this death and the Hierophant and all that. It was the disappointment surrounding this and the lack of development could not sustain, so it ended. You showed me that a couple times. You have been very honest. But it's like the day the words stopped flowing between you and this person, it hurt really fucking bad. I know. You didn't want it to. 7 of Swords. You didn't want to think about that. You still don't. But it's still with you. It's the one that hits you just right, or just so. Like a nice bath. It seems to be there just right. It's a perfect fit for you. Right? This is what I want to know. If you are so still very much feeling towards this person, and you are exiting what you're exiting, Aries, let's just get to the point. Are you going to get back in the bath? The good one. The one that you miss. Well, it kind of depends, I think, on your 9 of Cups here. And you kind of told me what your opening is. Let's say that 9 of Cups is in the obstacles. Show me that 9 of Cups, please, in the obstacles. You like the way their hair smells? There's a freshness surrounding them. Like they talk about bath. It's like you associate them with showers. But you do associate them with the bath. Why? There's so much water. You two didn't cross over that way. Is that a fantasy? You say their hair smells good. Very feminine. You associate them with flowers. Nine of Cups. Let's see that Nine of Cups, please. See, I knew that. See, I know you're a sensory person. I know you are. You have some very interesting earth in your chart. You're very sensory. I picked up on that. It's like you two didn't cross over in that way, so you satisfied your senses in other ways. What it smelled like or looked like or their voice, that kind of thing. What you could see. Nine of Cups, please. Nine of Cups, please. Nine of Cups, please. The obstacles. Three of Cups. Knight of Wands. Page of Pentacles. You have to love yourself enough to reconnect with this and know that you want to. It's really straightforward. To me, this looks very achievable because when I break it down, you're showing me these concepts of reconnecting with it is a matter of investment. So you have to have the confidence of self. Okay? Harmonize not just in your connection of this old one. You learned what you needed to learn from that, and you know that you do not harmonize with it. Great. So what do you harmonize with? I know what you harmonize with. You do too. So like I said, are you going to... I don't know where that's coming from. It's such a strong visual of the bath. I think it's fantasy. I think it's fantasy. You have such a strong impression of this person in the bath. I don't know why. It keeps coming up. Why? It is so strong. And I know that's water. It's heavy, heavy water. It's so refreshing to you. It's such a... Yeah. It's almost like an emotional cleanser that you have with this person about the emotionality attached to them as being pure, and it's not touched like that. And yeah, God, it's such a strong image. It really is strong. It's what's with the bath, honey. I might put that in your title. I don't know. Anyway, do you love yourself enough to pursue this? Literally, it's a translation. Do you love yourself enough to pursue this? Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Three of Cups, because it's looking to me, if you wanted to, you could connect with this or reconnect with it pretty damned easy. Of course, when the timing is right. I don't know, like I said, I can't quite tell where you are in this process. I just know that it's a truth that's sharp as hell as your mind. And it's a decision you are either making now or you will relatively soon. Because you began to drift, and that's a gentle drift away from whatever this is a long time ago. It's kind of like saying that is what that is. And it's not for me. I've thought about that. I've come to terms with it. I don't sexually match with that person. I don't know if I ever did. And even if I did, that's not who I am now. So the idea is, what is a match to you? I know it's a match to you. I know I keep coming back to it. Let's do it. Let's see that Ace of Cups. Now, obstacles isn't too much, honey. Page of Pentacles is nothing. And I always say we only get in trouble with those pages and we put too much weight on them. Three of Cups and the Knight of Wands with a real passion that's not inhibited or prohibited or discouraged. A Knight of Wands that is natural to you. You could have the passion to reconnect with this like that. Real, natural, authentic. But you have to love yourself to know that you want to do it and that you would give yourself that gift. Okay? Let's take a look at that Ace of Cups, please. Show me the Ace of Cups, please. Show me the Ace of Cups. Show me the Ace of Cups. Show me the Ace of Cups. You showed me where you want to be. I know whose heart you'd like to bury yourself into. It's someone whom you already had emotional development with, but stopped for obvious reasons. Let me put it this way. You never, quote-unquote, allowed yourself to go there. I never allowed myself to go there. I could have done, but I didn't. But that also includes your emotional top out with this, too. Not allowing yourself to go there affected more than one quadrant. Your mind, your spirit, your emotion, and your sex. And I understand why you did it. But now you know absolutely where it would point, given its own will. Its own free will. Ace of Cups. Let's see that Ace of Cups. It's beautiful. Read it. I hope you get to take a bath with your person. I'm going to make that your title. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. People are going to hate it because they're like, that doesn't make sense. You know, people are so superficial. If the title doesn't immediately make sense to somebody in the first 10 seconds, they'll go like this. It doesn't immediately make sense to me. Therefore, you. I'm not going to watch a 40-minute reading, 50-minute reading. I hope you get to take a bath with your person. What does that even mean, Christina? Well, if you had watched the message, you might have found out. As it were, it sounds like you're still compatible with that energy. Honey, I don't apologize for being me. I'm too old for that shit. Yay. You will, in time. In time, when it's appropriate for you, when you have completely exited this. Some of you feel like you gave up on the sexual energy for this person a long time ago, hoping that they'll see it as a healthy thing or a good investment. They don't see it as a good investment. You already know that. They communicate that with you. They minimize it. They have it in them, but they treat it like a dirty subject, and they expect you to too. You've come to terms with that. That's not correct for you. I don't know how long ago, but you didn't actually do anything with it yet. It took you time to not only accept that that's how they are, and it's probably never going to change, but also the second layer, that you understand that it's not correct for you. That took time as well. Just because they believe it doesn't mean you have to play by it. Got it? And here's the third layer. You making the conscious decision to move on, to pursue new love, which isn't new. I think we've made that clear. It is someone whom your heart points to naturally and did once upon a time, but could only develop so far because you were clearly in this. I did not see it cross the lines or cross the streams, as they would say in Ghostbusters. Do you know them well enough to understand that you two would be highly compatible, and that you kind of had a sensory satisfaction relationship with them? Just seeing them, hearing them, being around them was enough for you for a while, but that's where it stopped. We got it? We're on the same page? Great. Ace of Cups. There it is again. Oh. 8 of Wands, 2 of Swords, 3 of Wands. You don't know when the timing is right, but when it is right, and you can see it for yourself that the timing is right, you will re-engage with it. You have to know that you love yourself well enough to make the investment to re-engage with it. I don't know how long it's going to take you to move on from this. I just know that you've determined recently to do so. And every day that you understand that, the vision and therefore the action behind it will get sharper. Let me make this clear, guys. I'm not unhappy with this energy because they have a poor opinion of sex. There's 8 billion people on this planet. There was going to be a couple of them. Yeah. There's nothing you can do with that. If somebody wants to minimize it and then treat you like a bad person because you still desire sex, or they expect you to go along by the rules, that's what makes them a bad guy. I don't like the imposition. Let me impose upon you my beliefs. That's wrong. Connect with somebody who's like you and believes in what you do. Don't force it on other people and then expect them to be cool about it. Like you know better, because you don't. That's why I say everything's at will. You don't have to believe shit. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying. Never mind do what I'm recommending. Tarot doesn't dictate anything you do. Everything is at will, free will. All I can do is tell you what I see and what I feel. After that, everything's up to you. You take away somebody's free will, or try to, that's when you've lost me. Or that's how you lose other people. So you can go ahead and have a poor opinion of sex. That doesn't mean you're wrong, but you're wrong for trying to get someone else to play along like it's right. That's where people fuck up. So I know that you've concluded that you no longer want to be a part of that fuck up. That means you also have to understand what's right for you. You do. I'm very curious about when you understand. You'll be in the free and clear to engage with us. I'm very curious about that. Very curious. That's why I'm doing a time check right now. See how much more time I have. I honestly don't know. You're saying it's going to take a minute. 3 of Wands to the 2 of Swords. That's not clear to you either, in other words. Okay, that's fair. You're saying it's not clear to you. Okay. I can see why. If you've just started the process of understanding your absolute truth and the Ace of Cups you want to re-engage with again via communication, yeah, the timing's not going to be clear to anybody. It just started. But nevertheless, I congratulate you. Think of it this way. Do you know how many people won't reach the conclusion you did? Some people's devils are so strong. We're kind of like, yep, you're right. Yep, yes, dear, you're right. Yes, dear, you're right. Yes, dear, you're right. And completely adopting something they don't believe in because it's just easier not to. You could have done that, but you didn't. Again, you have to do what's right for you. Do you think that person was going to give you permission? So I don't know that they're a bad person. Honey, that ain't... I don't know if they occasionally drop a blowjob or something. I don't know. The energy, the sexual energy, the output of it is so small. But then they feel justified. I don't want you to get too much because then you'll run away with it and it'll become a bad thing. That's their way of minimizing it to justify poor behaviors or their poor belief system, is to tell themselves what they need to. I'm not into that. I'm not into self-delusions. Ugh. Be optimistic. So you are. Keep in mind that you create your reality. You can't attract love with a negative mindset. Ooh, excellent point, Spirit. Thank you very much. If you have a negative mindset about sex, it's going to affect your heart, especially if you're connected to someone who values sex because they value intimacy attached to it. See what I'm saying? It's all about points of view and same page. Are you alike or are you different? And where you're different, okay, is it compromisable? There's some things you can't ask someone to be compromisable with. It's just not fair. So if they're going to attract that level of negativity and you're not negative, what are you supposed to do? Put yourself first. There's times when people do this all the time because they're selfish, and that's their particular devil. This is an Aries. You understand. This isn't for you. So you're the one who has to make sure that you are doing what's right for you. Okay? Put yourself first. Always. Love yourself. Love thyself. The infinity loop, you do want your forever person, your soulmate, okay? The infinity loop is a healthy system. It goes like this. In other words, it feeds both sides. As it loops back and around and over itself, it feeds the other side. And this is unhealthy. It just goes round and round and round. There's no improvement. So if we're going to have a loop of any type, it needs to be a healthy kind. So we're looking for a forever person, and then we have zombie in reverse coming out of that drudgery. You know, that sense of passionless date. No point to this existence. We're coming out of that. Okay, I really wish I knew when you were comfortable reapproaching the Ace of Cups, but you will in due course. The journey's just started for you, it looks like. Even though you mentally gave up on the sexual energy with this person a long time ago, you doing something about it and recognizing that you want to, it's looking like it's day one for you, my friend. I don't know how many more days it's going to take you to fully separate from this. But Godspeed and good journey. Okay? I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.